Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. You see the thumbnail. I'm not going to waste any time. Can the New York Giants beat the Minnesota Vikings? Short answer is yes. Of course, any given Sunday, any team can beat any other team. But when you really look at these two teams together, this matchup is very lopsided in my opinion, especially towards the offensive side for the Minnesota Vikings. Very, very explosive offense. Have the best wide receiver in the league. They have a solid quarterback. They have some other guys that can make some plays as well, and Adam Thielen, who was a Pro Bowler at some point in time. You have Osborne, who's coming along, and you have a tight end that's decent, very more than decent. You have a good tight end in Hockenson. So right off the bat, the Minnesota Vikings are very, very explosive on the offensive end, but on the defensive side, that's where you have a couple of issues, especially with their pass defense. They're ranked very, very low on pass defense. I believe they're ranked 31 out of 32 when it comes to pass defense. And the New York Giants aren't any better as far as our rankings and things like that. But like I said, we've been dealing with a lot of injuries. We're starting to get some of these players back. And as you can see, some guys are just coming into their own. Case in point, Kayvon Thibodeau. So this is how I view this game, and this is how I think the game should go as far as the New York Giants and their game plan. Every week, somebody's going to ask you, how do you stop an explosive offense? Really, in some cases, you can't stop an explosive offense if you don't have that type of defense. But the best way to keep an explosive offense off of the field is by running long drives on the offensive side yourself. And the New York Giants are good at doing that thing. Last week you saw it, a nice 97-yard drive, 18 plays, 9 minutes off the clock. You know, we need to do that exact same thing against the Minnesota Vikings to keep that offense off of the field. It's no way that you're really going to stop Justin Jefferson. We don't have the cornerbacks to stop Justin Jefferson. But we do have, what I think is going to happen is, we do have the emergence of a pass rush that can get to Kirk Cousins. And if you can affect Kirk Cousins, that affects Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson can't eat if Kirk Cousins can't get him the ball. And that's what the New York Giants need to focus on. Again, outside of the wide receiver group, they do also have an outstanding running back in Dalvin Cook. A good offensive line as well. But again, I say, of course, statistically wise, the New York Giants have not done well in run defense. Haven't been the best in pass defense either. We've actually been on a downslope. That last game against the Washington Commanders, we did have a better game. I would think that, you know, the main thing that affected that game was Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau was a monster last week, and I think that was his coming out party for sure. And I just expect, and it's a gift and a curse, that I think that a lot of fans now, media, people around the team, or people around the NFL as well, or if you're a casual fan, you expect to see that type of performance from Kayvon Thibodeau again and again and again. Can he do it? Absolutely, he has the skill set to do it. But once you've done it to the point where he's done it, especially in that last game, you look at it like, yeah, I'm going to expect a little more from Kayvon Thibodeau. Maybe not what he did in that game, but from what he was doing in the past, you're going to expect a little bit more, expect him to affect the games a little bit more, because you've seen him do it now. So that's the gift and curse of a great performance. And Kayvon Thibodeau, he'll understand that if he doesn't already. But Azeez Ojulari again stepped up, because every time Thibodeau was back there affecting the play, Azeez was right there too. Leonard Williams is coming along. He's getting healthier. And I think with the more healthy he gets, or the healthier that he gets, I think that helps our run defense. Outside of that, also, you saw that Landon Collins was moved to interior linebacker, and we saw some better play at the linebacker spot. And again, it took us to grab a safety off of the practice squad and throw him into the linebacker spot for our linebacker play to improve a little bit. And Jalen Smith, that's not a knock on Jalen Smith, but he has to play better. Micah McFadden has to play better. We know that Tate Crowder was waived and then brought back to the practice squad, so we'll see what happens with that. But again, we have to get consistent good play from the interior linebacker group. And I think when we get that, the defense will look even better than it did, last week. But getting back into this game, again, the Minnesota Vikings, very explosive. The way you want to do it is keep these guys off of the field as much as possible with your offense, having long, successful touchdown drives. No field goals. We need to score touchdowns because Minnesota showed you last week that they can put up points, and they can put up points in a hurry. They were down 33-0 at halftime, and then they ended up winning that game 39-36. Again, this was against the Indianapolis Colts, but when you have a 33-point lead, and it could just be that Matt Ryan is bad luck. Might be that. But to score 39 points in a half, that's a tall feat, and it takes an explosive offense to do that. So I'm not going to sit here and think that the New York Giants can just go in there and win this game against the Minnesota Vikings. No, not at all. But I do think that there's a game plan out there that, if executed properly, the New York Giants can pull off a victory in Minnesota on Saturday. And that's the way I'm going to treat it. That's the way I see it. So just to get it out the way, score predictions, and again, I said in the previous videos, going into that Washington game, I see us winning the next 3 straight. So that was going to be the Washington game, the Vikings game, and also that Colts game. I got us winning all 3 of those. Just a feeling in my heart. Call it a bias. I'm a New York Giants fan. I understand what you're thinking, but I just told you what it is. I'm biased. I just got a feeling. It's a gut feeling that the New York Giants beat the Minnesota Vikings and turn around and beat the Indianapolis Colts too. So, again, I think the Giants win this game 24-20 in Minnesota. We pull off Daniel Jones. If we're gonna win this game, Daniel Jones has to have a similar performance where he's able to move the ball. If it's gonna be dink and dunks, let it be dink and dunks. But Saquon Barkley has to have another strong game running. And again, with that Washington game, he didn't come along really till that fourth quarter where he threw a couple of double-digit runs together. But I think with another week back with Brent Bredesen at left guard, I would hope that they put Nick Gates at center because I think he's a better option than Feliciano right now. That's me, though, in my opinion. But I think with Bredesen back another week, full-time start at left guard, I think he gives you that extra oomph that you need in a running game to get Saquon Barkley, Brightwell, and Breida, that boost that they need in order to be able to run the ball that they need, the way they need to run the ball. But yeah, that's going to be my prediction. That's going to be my video. I want to thank you guys for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.